Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever pulled your hair out battling rock-hard dirt, endless weeds, or plants that just refuse to thrive, well, you are exactly in the right place. Today, we're completely transforming your gardening frustrations into massive harvests by building from the ground up. We're focusing on the ultimate garden upgrade, raised beds, and pairing them with some truly expert mulching techniques. Okay, so let's quickly run through our agenda for this masterclass. We'll start with why raised beds matter, move into how to build and plant them, and then we're going to wrap up with the ultimate soil maintenance secret, mulch.
All right, part one, why choose raised beds? Let's talk about overcoming those common garden frustrations.
We really need to start by addressing the foundation of any great garden. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Are you tired of tough soil and endless weeding? If the dreaded yard work of battling stubborn roots and poor, compacted earth is holding you back, you are definitely not alone. It is incredibly frustrating to put in hours of backbreaking work only to watch your plants stunt to rot because the native soil just isn't up to par.
And that is exactly where raised beds come in as a total game changer. Because they sit up above the ground, they warm up much faster in the spring, which literally gives you a head start on the growing season. They also drain phenomenally well after heavy storms, an absolute lifesaver if you get sudden downpours. But here's the best part. You get perfect control over the soil mix. You're basically playing Mother Nature and creating the exact nutrient blend your plants are craving.
Moving right along to part two, building your raised bed. We'll look at simple styles and easy setup.
Now that we know why we need them, let's talk about how incredibly simple they are to actually get into your yard. You've got some really fantastic options. You could go with a classic wood design, super affordable, really easy to put together, and perfect if you're a beginner. Or maybe you've got a crazy busy schedule or live somewhere prone to droughts. In that case, you might want to look into self-watering beds. They use this brilliant built-in reservoir system at the bottom to keep everything perfectly hydrated from below.
But hey, if you want to go the DIY route with a classic 4x4 wooden bed, it's basically foolproof. It's just 4 steps. You just cut 4 boards to size, screw the corners together to make your frame, lay down some landscape fabric at the bottom to stop any native weeds from poking through, and then fill the whole shebang with a rich mix of compost, topsoil, and organic matter. That's literally it.
So the real takeaway here is that raised beds don't need to be this massive, complicated construction project. It's all about one word: consistency. When you have consistent, high-quality soil and consistent watering, you are practically guaranteeing consistent results. It's such a small, upfront effort for a truly massive impact on your harvest. Okay, part 3, high-yield raised bed crops. Let's figure out what to plant first. With your perfect little soil environment ready to go, it's time for the fun part, choosing plants that will absolutely explode in this setup. These high-yield crops are incredibly rewarding because they take full advantage of that optimized drainage and extra warmth we talked about earlier. We're talking tomatoes, peppers, crisp lettuce, fresh herbs, and bush beans. Oh, and if you want to maximize your space, grow some cucumbers vertically up a trellis. It's a fantastic use of space. Which brings us to part 4, the ultimate tip: mulch. This is about taking your garden from good to phenomenal. To really level up your new raised bed, you need this expert maintenance tip. Think about it. When you walk into a wild, untouched forest, the ground is never just bare dirt, right? It's covered in this rich layer of organic material. By adding just a 2 to 3 inch layer of natural mulch to your bed, you are mimicking that exact life-teeming environment. It suppresses weeds by blocking out the sun, acts like a sponge to retain moisture, and insulates the soil against extreme weather. It is an absolute must.
Part 5. Picking the best mulch. Let's weigh the pros and cons of some common materials.
Because, as you might guess, not all mulch is created equal. Picking the right material for the job is where the real magic happens. Take straw mulch, for instance. It's cheap, gives great coverage, and most importantly, it's super lightweight. That makes it absolutely brilliant for protecting delicate little sprouting seeds. On the flip side, you have arborist wood chips. They're heavy and fantastic for established plants or garden paths, but because of that weight, they'll actually block your directly sown vegetable seeds from ever sprouting. Then there's cedar mulch. It's gorgeous, it lasts forever, and it naturally repels pests. Sounds perfect, right? Well, hold on a sec. Cedar's amazing bug-repelling superpower can actually backfire on you. While it keeps the bad pests away, it also drives off the beneficial insects, like pollinating bees and ladybugs, that your garden desperately needs to thrive. Plus, if your soil is already a bit boggy, cedar can trap way too much moisture and lead to root rot, so you have to be strategic.
And hey, let's quickly bust a really common gardening myth while we're at it. You've probably heard someone say that wood mulches, like cedar or pine bark, will steal nitrogen from your plants. Well, science simplified, wood mulches will not rob your soil of nitrogen as long as you just leave them resting on top of the soil. Nitrogen depletion only actually happens if you actively mix or till that woody stuff deeply into the dirt where the roots live. So lay it on top and you're golden. Finally, part 6, our DIY leaf mulch guide. We're turning yard waste into black gold.
For our last expert technique, we are looking at the absolute best and totally free mulch option that literally falls out of the sky into your yard every autumn. Instead of bagging up all those dry leaves and hauling them away, you can transform them into what gardeners literally call black gold, leaf mold, or humus. It's this rich, semi-composted organic matter that earthworms absolutely go crazy for. Just to put this into perspective, look at this number, 50%. Over half of all the precious nutrients a tree works so hard to pull up out of the soil are stored directly in its leaves. So when you bag them up and throw them away, you are literally throwing away free, high-quality garden fertilizer. Crazy, right?
So how do we use them? The trick is to shred them first so they break down faster. You can run over them with a bagging lawnmower, use a string trimmer inside a trash can, or grab a dedicated electric mulcher. Get this, a good mulcher can reduce a massive pile of leaves down to 1/11th of its size. Once they're shredded, just spread a neat 2-inch layer over your raised beds.
At the end of the day, gardening expert Joe Lample really hits the nail on the head when he says, any natural mulch is better than no mulch at all. Whether you buy some nice pine bark, throw down some lightweight straw, or take the time to shred your own fallen leaves, providing that natural protective barrier over your new raised beds is absolutely crucial. It's the best thing you can do for your soil's ecosystem.
So, here we are. You are officially armed with the ultimate foundation, a perfectly draining, fast-warming raised bed, and the ultimate maintenance trick of organic mulching. The soil is prepped, the weeds are blocked, and the moisture is locked in tight. The only question left is, what are you going to plant in your new raised bed to kickstart your biggest harvest ever? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Now get out there and get your hands dirty.